Yo, it's your boy Benny Gold reporting live from New Manager Studio. Who I got with me?
You got Rose in the building.
How you doing, Rose?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
Good.
good.
Welcome to New Management. We're doing a podcast today, and I wanted to have you come on here because you are a entrepreneur, and I want you to give your perspective and your insight, basically on how your life goes being an entrepreneur. Some of the things you have to go through. Just your whole perspective. Let's get a bit of a background check. Where you from, how old you are, and let people know some things about you.
So I go by Rose. I am from Jackson, Mississippi, of course, but I did relocate to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta in 2016, basically because I wanted something better. I think big, like, and I just know that Jackson, Mississippi was not my final destination. You
Okay.
know, I am an entrepreneur. I have Rebellious Rose Boutique. I still do ship out, but now I do not have my building. That's something that I'm working on right now. And I also do esthetician where I do waxes here in Jackson, Mississippi and in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. When did you start like that entrepreneur journey?
Okay, I always had it in me, but I was afraid. It was the fear
What was that fear?
of failing. So when 2020 hit and COVID came, I was like, I gotta do something else. Let me just push it. You just do it. So I took a marketing class first because I wanted to have more. How can I say this? I wanted to have more wisdom behind it. I didn't just. I knew I was gonna make mistakes as I went, but some of the mistakes I wasn't gonna have to make.
Right.
If
You
that
wanted
makes
to, you
sense.
wanted to kind of beat the learning
A
curve
little more
on it.
knowledge,
Yeah.
exactly. I started lining it up and just doing my investments of what I was going to have to do, like the type of clothing I was going to have to do, the actually crowd that I wanted to seek, if that makes sense. Because every boutique has a certain crowd, or you should have a certain type of people that you're
Yeah.
gravitating to, I
Yeah.
feel.
Your target audience.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you started off in 2020.
Yes.
And okay, so with that boutique and starting it, what would you say were, even with taking the marketing pains, what were some of marketing class, excuse me, what were still some of those growing pains that you still went through, you starting a boutique and then just running it on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, it's heavy. Like, it's not for the weak. I would say that first. It is not for the weak at all. Like, seriously. I went through discipline. I had a problem with discipline, respecting your money. Respecting your money. Not every time somebody buys something or whatever, you spending it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not actually getting nothing out of it besides selling clothes.
Right.
But I'm not profiting anything. Like, I'm moving backwards financially. So that was a big thing. And then learning how to network as well was a big thing for me.
And what was it? What about the networking part? Was it something like you just weren't able to network enough?
I wasn't
felt
used
like?
to it.
Okay.
And then with me not being used to it and not knowing a lot of people there, I really had to find the resources myself. I had to find the resources myself. And then I will also say, like, one of the biggest things too was every time them numbers weren't coming in and then it would be high, I would be good.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to accept that some days it's going to be good and then some days it's going to be bad.
It's gonna be
But you got to
peaks
keep
and
rolling
lows,
with
yeah.
the punches, like, no matter what. Just keep going. Keep going. Like, that's something that I really had to learn. Because when it be bad and I'm like, okay, I made that $300 today and I ain't made nothing today. Or I made 50 that day. I'm like, especially when it's nothing.
What was it? What about those? Because everybody loves the days where oh, we up, like we posted a video, new management. I posted a video. Let's say it get 10, 20,000 plays first day. Of course, I'm gonna be happy.
Right.
But it's them days where your video, and not even just new management. I've made a lot of content. I expected to do better than it does. So what is it about those days to where you run a boutique and you didn't have the day you expected, or you had a high day and you felt real good, but then you had that low day? How did you get through those low days?
Honestly, like in the beginning, I used to be upset. I used to be pissed off. I'm just being honest. Like,
That's
I
what we
was
here for.
pissed off because I'm like, why is this not selling? Like, I just dropped this new collection. I know it's bummed. Like, what's going on? Then it's Friday. Y'all done got paid.
Yeah.
So what's really going on?
Right.
So I used to be upset, but then I had to learn. And let me backtrack too. I used to be upset, but then I had to learn as well. Like, when people would call, like, you made plays today, or did anybody shop with you today? I'd be like, yeah, they bought an outfit and they actually did.
Yeah.
Because it's like the people pleasing and the expectation.
Yeah.
Like, I think expecting is the wrong thing. That's the hitter for a lot.
I do understand, because you're not trying to be embarrassed. Like, somebody asks, "Oh, did somebody shop?" And then you want to be able to say yes.
Right,
and
and
like,
it got to a point I was
Yeah.
like, I ain't made nothing today, but hopefully tomorrow it'll be a better day. Or, no one has even looked at the site, because you're able to tell when
like
someone has looked at your
metrics
domain and different things. Yeah, but
analytics and
you just gotta have faith behind it, and you gotta set boundaries.
Started in 2020, and you now have experience with your boutique. What would you say now you feel like is the biggest difference between Rose now and Rose then?
Oh, that's a good question. So Rose then was in fear, in her passion. It was a passion, but I was living in fear and living off of other people's thoughts, just what other people thought, period. As far as the clothing, I would second guess myself knowing you got this, girl. And the things like that I would second guess myself on, I would just buy from me. Then when I buy that from me and girls see me out, they're like, where did you get that from? Versus the things I would buy worried about other people.
I got
So
you.
now it's like, I put two and two together, like, now, because it's just like, I can't buy a Nike suit and sell that, because I'm trying to put me out there. So I'm learning to just do me. Like, I do me now, and I'm more realistic with it and more logical, and like, forget other people. This is your brand. If this is something that you say is a passion, why are you not actually doing what you like and making it like is it really for you, or is it for the people? So that hit like big for me. So I feel like that is something that I have changed. And with transitioning, like we was talking about, like, that's something I've transitioned to, because
That's
at
dope.
first people had family codes. Everybody felt like I had to get them something for free too.
Yeah.
Or, well, you can't give me this, or you can't give me that.
can't
And I'm
look
just
out,
like,
yeah.
my aunts had a whole family code to put in. And I'm just like, y'all not looking at what I'm trying to do.
Right.
When you go into Target, you're not expecting that.
Exactly.
When you shop with Jada Waiter,
You gonna
or
spend
wait
everything.
a minute, in the lip gloss lines, Remedy by Ari, y'all not expecting that.
Right.
So I just started looking at things differently and setting my boundaries.
Yeah.
But and being more confident within me.
Right. I think that is a big problem with, especially, Black people, when it's your friend, cousin, brother, sibling, when it's somebody personally, and they're starting a business, or they may do videos, they may be a photographer, because you're my friend, or you're my brother, or you're my associate.
And it's
or
having
even
a personal relationship, basically. Right.
people will expect the free clothing, the free video, the free picture, not taking into account how much time I've been putting into, my craft, as far as I've been making these videos, you doing your research, trying to find clothing, going through all the process of getting clothing, and then
they don't understand
take that
as
into
entrepreneurs what we really go through.
Exactly.
As small entrepreneurs trying to grow bigger, or what like business owners actually go through. Because China shipping prices ain't cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just like, y'all don't understand. It's not just, okay, well, your vendor got this for $6.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, my shipping is going to be $100 and some dollars, or $200 and some dollars.
Exactly.
You don't get the metrics behind it, but I guess they're not going to think that big, because
it's not their problem.
Exactly.
They're only gonna take into account, well, I'm trying to support you, but I'm not really supporting you, because if you are expecting something free from me that I've already invested my time and money into myself, I need it reciprocated. I need, basically, for an entrepreneur, it's like this. Whether we're pushing a product or a service, we're exerting our own personal energy back into it. And so it's not necessarily about the money per se, but it's more so the principle.
Exactly.
I'm providing this service. You provide whatever monetary value I have placed on it, because that's what I feel it is worth. That's the time, the energy that I put into it. And so when you give me that money, you're giving me the energy, the resources
Everything
back
is energy.
to be everything is energy. So you giving that energy back to me to be able to do it again. And a true entrepreneur or business owner is going to take, anything that they're making. Let's say if they have their startup, they're going to try to invest it back, make things better, get their quality up right, be able to buy more in bulk so my shipping prices will come down. But when you're dealing with that quote unquote let me support you by giving you a free t-shirt type of thing.
But it's like you gotta look into that. You said something, because is it even worth giving you that for you to support me? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, how is that really going to help me when you only got 200 followers, or a lot of people don't even know you, or you're just my aunt? Like, it really doesn't help me. It helps you more than it helps me.
It's not giving me any gain at
Exactly.
all. Any gain at all. But people don't, like I said, they're not going to see it from your perspective. And
everybody have different perspectives, because some people would say, well, those 200 followers may just... But if it's a personal note and you knowing, like, no.
I feel like it's almost a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation.
But if I can't, I'm not.
Exactly. Because like I said, if I'm really putting time, money, and energy into it, and you feel like $20 is too much for you to support by buying this t-shirt from me, I just feel like that's the disconnect that, like I said, mostly black people have when it's their own personal family members trying to do something. But a complete stranger, you a whole lot more likely to support.
They will support you. They will, when they see you doing things, like when I would network and do pop-up shops, I didn't know what to do. This was at first. I just started paying attention. You always got to just watching. Every entrepreneur would come to my table and give me their card. And I'm just like, what is they? I was shy too. Like, I'm nervous. So I'm like, what in the world? So when I finally did some research and did some more marketing thinking, I redid my cards. And then I felt more comfortable. And then I started going to people's tables, actually talking to them, networking.
Yeah.
And they started following me. Well, I'll buy this from you, supporting me, sharing. And I just feel like, it be the people that you don't know.
Yeah, most definitely.
And it's good when it's other entrepreneurs, because it's a lot of entrepreneurs that, if y'all are in the same bracket, won't support you.
Right.
Because I've had people where I've given vendors too. Even here, when I was in Atlanta, I'm like, if you have your such and such license, like, you can go to their website and they'll even ship it to you, or you can come to Atlanta and pick it up, or I pick it up and ship it to you. And I'm just like, but I haven't got nothing from you. And it doesn't have, just no vendors, no type of support.
Right.
But I'm trying to support you. So
I think
look into that too.
I think
it's a competition.
Exactly. And I think that'd be the main thing, because when people see you're doing something, some people say, more so than let me support them or whatnot, they figure out, well, they could do it, I could do it too. Being sitting up here with his podcast, I can make a podcast and do it. So
I tried that.
If I see Rose with her boutique, I can make a boutique too. And then they going to come to you for the sauce and the ingredients, not necessarily do the research, the background work, take a marketing class or,
And that was big. Like, I did one-on-one marketing. Her name is actually Kay, the marketing coach.
That's what's up. Shout out to her.
Right.
But the fact that you actually took time out to invest into yourself, that's a big deal, because that shows that, you caring about your brand and you actually want to do it. I had to,
because as I think back now, in 2017, I made these cards and made this logo, like, picture with myself it was a picture from the club, like, before I went out.
Okay.
And I used it, and it was Miss Boutique.
Got you.
And Miss came from, like, Mississippi.
Yeah.
So that was an epic fail.
Yeah.
So it was like, let me just take a marketing coach or do something different this time. And it made me think back to that because it's like, yeah, I forgot all about that once Rebellious Rose just.
But I think that's what it take though. It take that first bad idea to kind of
It
get out
was
the way.
horrible. I had got the tape and bought some like little shimmer things to put up. Had my cousin to take some pictures. She had her hair in a little bun. It wasn't even done. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? So I had to reflect.
Yeah, but see, in that moment though, you were just kind of doing the best you knew how.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it was like in the moment, you're not necessarily doing nothing wrong. But
right, and you don't see it.
but as some time goes by, you look back and you go, "Whoa, I shouldn't have did this. This was not a good look." But it was just, I think though, it takes that first time of you doing it to kind of wake yourself up to say, I can do it. Right. And then at some time and you gain some experience, because knowledge is the best teacher. You know, experience and repetition is going to be your best teacher. So the more you do something, the better, naturally, the better you're going to be at it. So I think it just takes that first trial and error, you know, to get it out of your system.
And I also feel like maybe season, like that's big, like maybe it's not your season. Like
timing is
maybe
everything.
God needs some things to, you know, He just needs you to settle some things out first. Then spin the block on it, because I forgot all about Miss.
Yeah, that's very important. I think it takes, like what you say. I think it kind of like it takes a certain amount of self growth, self development.
Because people seeing it around me before I really seen it in myself after Miss, like 2018 and 2019, like they'll be like, why you want to get your boutique started? Why you want to, like, everybody in my family call me, how you think this look? Lexi, how you think this look?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to tell you, do this, do that, woo, woo. And everybody, like, they go with what I say.
Exactly.
And everybody's seeing it, but I'm just like,
See, that right there is the proof. You know what I mean? That's the proof that shows you, okay, clearly I have some type of influence. I have, you know, something that people are believing in. If they want my opinion, they are believing in my opinion. Because, you know, or if they asking when you gonna start your boutique, you know, if even one person will ask you when you starting your boutique, that is proof to me. I think that's the sign you need, because people go, I need a sign. Should I start this? Should I start? And then you got somebody who asks you, when should you start your boutique? I think that's one of the first signs to when you need to be stepping into that alignment of going into your purpose as far as creating things. I want to kind of pivot just a touch as far as a topic that I want to kind of bring up: chasing dreams versus being realistic. So I think this is something as an entrepreneur that, you know, we are very ambitious. You know, we're always dreaming. We're always thinking of maybe the next idea. But there's only so much you can do, you know, with the resources you have. Like we just brought up, the timing may not be right. How do you, you know, what you're doing now, you know, still having boutique and going into other ventures, how are you able to still dream but still realistically go day by day?
That is a good question. That is so hard. It's so hard. Like, I'm a logical thinker, so I think that makes it easier. But I'm chasing my dreams because I know what I want. But at the same time, the reality, I think very logically on things. So it's like, I know what I have to do, but sometimes we can get into chasing our dreams where our reality goes like a blur.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm more of a white and black person, a black and white person.
Okay.
When it comes to it.
Either it is or
but it
ain't.
can get into a blur moment.
Yeah, into that gray area.
Because I'm not perfect, right? It can get into that, but I have to redirect myself. Yeah, because sometimes we get lost in the sauce. A lot of times.
And so when you get lost in the sauce, what is that thing that kind of, let me snap out of this? Like,
when I done bumped my head and did something stupid, like I had the opportunity to go and network with somebody big that I didn't, or go and do this because of how I'm feeling that day, or something that didn't happen that messed up my whole mood, which is not good. That's personally.
Yeah.
And that's not good. Or I didn't spend money on all this stuff. That is some of the stuff I didn't even need.
That wasn't beneficial.
It was not beneficial at all. Like, what were you thinking when you made that purchase?
Yeah, I've been very guilty of that myself. I'm not going to lie.
Like, what am I using this for? Or what am I doing? Or why would I even get that? Or why I didn't, before I bought it, like, why I didn't even, like, try the try the material out first.
Mm-hmm.
But I done bought all sizes in this, knowing that smaller girls may wear this, and then bigger girls may not wear that. It's a mess. But you have to just be very strong, and you have to carry the weight as well, definitely. And try to be very logical. And when you bump your head and you get the blurs, just continue to go on. Mm-hmm. And that's easier said than done.
Most definitely.
That's easier said than done.
With that, I feel like, a lot of expectations come with, taking an entrepreneur lifestyle, trying to be a business owner, small business, on bigger. How do you juggle expectations? Let's say, your own personal expectations. 'Cause I feel like I put more expectations on myself than anybody else could ever. Nobody could ever put
I think that's a Gemini thing.
It has to be.
No, because we're so hard on ourselves.
Yeah,
and we will overthink it, and we are so hard on ourselves. But I'd rather be too hard on myself than not hard at all.
Exactly.
So it's like it's a good thing and a bad thing, but I'd rather take the sour patch.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse. Because, you have to put that pressure on yourself, because if you don't, you won't get stuff done. We wouldn't be sitting here doing this podcast.
Right.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't have your boutique if you didn't put that pressure on yourself and put it on your mind so much to say, you know what, I'm going to do my research. I'm going to put this stuff together. But not even just your personal expectations, but just like family expectations, like we just spoke on earlier with, people expecting free stuff almost. Or even society, if you call yourself an entrepreneur, everybody's going to feel like, oh, you supposed to be rich. You supposed to have big businesses everywhere.
Right.
Just because you've given yourself a title entrepreneur, big sponsor.
Right. Or they'll look at you like, what family will look at you like, what the hell are you doing?
Exactly.
And that will, if you're not strong enough, if you don't have the mentality and that big expectation for yourself, that will push you in a wall. Because it has put me in a corner before where I was second guessing myself.
Most definitely.
Do you understand? Like I was second guessing myself, but knowing this is what I want to do. But just because you don't see my vision don't mean that.
Yeah.
It's okay for you not to see it.
But even with that, and I feel like the ones closest to us, they gonna push that self-doubt, even more to the surface, because when your family questioning you, you start to question yourself. Like I've been through it personally, whether it be, parents, siblings, whatever, they could, why you want to do this so bad? But it's just almost like, I can't explain it. It's a hunger, it's a passion, just to the point to where if I'm not being creative, that will irk me, you know what I mean? Or I'll be depressed. I have to have my creativity. I have to be doing something productive almost, but it has to be something that I truly want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not just a productive societal type day. You went to school or you went to work and you blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It has to be something more than that. But how do you juggle that expectation? How do you juggle, that self-doubt and still, dusting your shoulders off and keep moving?
At first, it was very, very hard when I started. Like, it was very hard. Like, I questioned myself about everything. I got so confused. Like, I was contradicting myself. I'm just being honest. I don't care. But it was very hard. It made me, like, when my family didn't even believe in me, it's like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Like, that hurt bad. And I think with me, it hurt more because I am very, like, supportive of black owned. Like when you did the Benny Gold shirts, you see me, I still got that shirt, and I will still wear it. It might just be like something I sleep in or whatever. Or I just go out in, or I go out on a day just to go shopping. But it's like I'm more supportive. So when my family would be that way, like it would hurt.
Yeah. I do understand that. So
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, even family, but like society, and even like with that the support you could get from strangers, but also kind of like the doubt you can get from other people. Like I said earlier, once you do give yourself that entrepreneur title, how do you just navigate a world where it's against you building your own? How do you navigate yourself through that?
Through the humps and the bumps, through it, like I had to gain. We can cuss right all the way. I had to gain a bucket of fuck it.
I like that.
A bucket of fuck it. Yeah. Like I had to gain that, and I had to get more confident within self. and just be like, well, fuck it, this is me, this is my life, this is what I want to do. Like, fuck what anybody think. And also, like, going back to boundaries, I had to put people, like, where they belong.
Oh.
Because a lot of people was coming around and I'm like, whoa, hey, I ain't seen you in so long. Like, you trying to catch the hype? And that was weird. It was weird. And girls wanted to model and say that they was modeling. And I'm like, so I had to put a lot of people in their place and do a lot of things that I didn't want to do because I was a people pleaser. And now I'm not. So it changed my perspective personally and also on the entrepreneurship because it sort of goes hand in hand.
Most definitely.
It goes hand in hand.
Because I've heard this recently because people would always say, it's business, it's not personal. But then it's another saying that goes, business is always personal. And it makes a lot of sense because if you think about how much business is just done because somebody is friends with one another or relationships
because people think that, I got this X or Y money, I'm good. No. Relationships is what gets you in the door.
Right.
And people don't know that.
Most definitely.
People don't know that you could have a small conversation with someone or be at a pop-up shop and you find out they know this person or that person. Like, they know relationships. Right, exactly. Say that because, like I've learned that over the time.
That's dope. I think seeing, your growth over these past 4 years, what would you say is next for you? Or not necessarily just next, but kind of like what's now too. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, what are we doing right now and then what's next?
As far as like my business and everything.
Yeah.
So now basically, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to spill the tea. Because God got it.
Yeah, that's right.
But now, like, I plan on having a whole, basically, shop. I'm going to have a whole shop, but I want other people in there, too. Like, I want to help other women. Like, it's so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
And I wish sometimes that people had a me.
Yeah.
And that's sort of hard, huh?
I feel exactly what you're saying.
That's sort of hard. But
I feel exactly what you're saying.
I want to do, basically, a building, and I'm going to name it Rebellious Rose, and I want... Actually, what I'm about to start on every Saturday or whatever day the girls can do, that I found the braider. I found the person that can do nails. Yes. And I found the girl that can do ponytails. And I'm looking for other people as well, like a full licensed esthetician.
Yeah.
But that's not all the way good. I don't want the people that's perfect.
Gotcha.
Or that thinks that, that has a higher bracket of prices and different things.
I see what you're saying.
I am right now having it to where we're going to do workshops once a week.
I like that.
And I want everybody, even me, to perfect our crafts.
Exactly.
And then let's just pop it. But
that's dope.
I'm doing that in Atlanta, and I want to get a building here. Because I want to bring bigger things here. I'm going to say that. I don't want to say Atlanta to here.
Yeah.
But I want to just bring bigger things here.
I think there's a lot of potential here in Mississippi because, don't get me wrong, I want to leave and branch out as well. But having the new management brand, it's a lot of potential here. It's so much talent, so many talented black people in Mississippi. Like, so many talented black people in Mississippi. We unorganized.
Exactly.
We're extremely unorganized, and it's not an accident that we unorganized. But no matter what, it's up to us who are here now to get organized and to shape something different and something new, to where now we've created this media company to where we now have different media outlets. It's not just, the newscast, or it's not just,
and I seen that, and I thought that was an awesome thing. Like, I seen where you had you can rent the studio, or you can do this and do that.
Doing different things like that.
But that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
You don't supposed to stay in one category.
Exactly.
You never put yourself in one category. And you said being organized. Yeah, organized. And that's something that, like, right now I'm doing. Because, like, the boutique that I want in Atlanta, I look at everybody else's boutiques as well. Yeah. I look at everybody like, what do they call them when the different people be in there? The
vendors, booths, and stuff.
No, they work in there. When you go inside of it, it's not just a boutique. I can't think of the name right now, but it's not just a boutique. Like, you're able to go in there. You can maybe get nails. You can get hair. There's different people in there that rent different booths. But anywho, it's
a great idea.
It is, but that's what I'm trying to bring. But also, I'm trying to get organized as well. Yeah. Just within there, because first, when I get organized within there, I can be sort of like I say about 5 steps ahead with starting here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
So it's like you can't try to do two things at once and you don't even got this one.
Right.
Like where is the blueprint?
Right.
So that's what I'm working on, just being more organized, and then bringing that here because I feel like Mississippi has so much potential.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of money out here, and it's a lot of people out here too. They just overlook us, but also we overlook ourselves.
Exactly. It's a sleeping giant in Mississippi. Like it's so much, like I said, so much talent, so many bright ideas. We unorganized and we very divided. And that's just not just Jackson, like it's the whole Mississippi, the black people in Mississippi. And I feel like the more we start to, collaborate, and because just with new management, the amount of stuff we've been able to do in just the past 3 months, it's been incredible. And it's been showing that when you bring more black people together, magic will really, really happen. And I think...
But I feel like, will that ever happen?
It's going to happen because we're going to make it happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's just...
Because that's scary. It's something that you want to happen, but it's just like...
It's just going to be a timing thing. It's not a force because, like I say, like, we very much at the beginning stages. It's like everything, like... And I'm only 26, so lately I've been looking at it like, dude, like...
And you're in the stage of, when I was 26, like I had just got out of like my shadow work stage. I feel like 25 was like of me trying to find myself year.
Exactly.
25 is a hard year.
Oh yeah, like
at least me and my best friends went through the same thing, but it's still hard because I'm knocking on 30 and I'm like,
life is gonna have its hardships.
I had to calm down on the expectations and being too hard on myself.
And I think once you do that and you more so just live and kind of just go with the punches, roll with the punches. No, every day ain't gonna be, the Super Bowl. Some days are gonna be a little bit lesser, I guess you could say. But I don't know. I just feel like for me, it just came. I think my biggest development, like you said, just doing the shadow work. So to where now I'm more so self-assured, like you said. Like I feel like I'm very similar to you, like trying to be a people pleaser and things like that. It was a downfall to me. But now I just feel like I just got to take my journey because it's only my journey, you know what I mean? And what I plan to do, I will see that it's done, but I just have to be, like you said, realistic and no timing is everything. Before we finish up, I want to bring up, because we went over, the expectations, and you've been giving us your whole perspective on being an entrepreneur. Do you feel like, and this is kind of like one of those podcast topics that kind of, always get brought up, not necessarily the 50-50, but do you feel like a female can be a breadwinner? Because you yourself as an entrepreneur, you're very likely to be a breadwinner. Do you feel like a female can be a breadwinner in a relationship nowadays?
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't matter. But go ahead into it.
Well, that's kind of one of the things I bring up, like with society expectations. Do you think that's something that is now normal, or would you say it's still a rare thing?
That shit is not normal. Like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest. Like, that is not normal at all. But the only reason it's not fucking normal because of social media. The peer pressure of we're seeing these people, we're seeing them people, and we don't know what the hell they going through.
Right.
And I'm the type, I don't care if my man is making, is still working a job.
Yeah.
And I'm making all of this money. I just really care about, are you sincere? It's certain things that I want from a man. That doesn't matter because he's going to eventually get there as long as I'm getting there.
Right.
And as long as, we're just being us.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter about that.
I feel you.
But that's just me. And some women be like, girl, he don't got no money or he's not doing this, so you should be talking to him or instead of him. And it's like, mind your business. Just mind your damn business.
I like that.
Mind your business.
Real talk. I like that because I think, like you said, social media, the peer pressures and what people expect or what people think. I think that the biggest problem with social media is just, it's like people are so focused on pushing an image of what something is versus what it really is.
And
There's
what's
no
so
substance
crazy
to
is
it.
this girl could be getting money, this woman could be getting money, and then could be with this man who's way richer than her, whatever, and could be giving her hell.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's true.
Could be giving her hell behind closed doors.
Exactly.
And we just looking at the picture.
Yeah, because
we're looking at the idea of what it could be.
Yeah.
Which is not reality.
Yeah.
It's really not. Or is it you wanting to have something that's not really
real
for you, at least? And that's something that social media has built up. And people mentally, like everything is a program.
Yes.
And social media has built that up. And I just think it's so damn dumb. Yeah. And that's just what me and other women we don't relate, and that's okay nowadays.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I understand that. And I'm glad you gave a fresh perspective on something like that because, like you said, I think social media has ruined the perspective for so many people that it's just... But before we end off, you just spoke on your, getting buildings and stuff like that. But what can you say do you think is next, let's say 10 years down the line for yourself? Or where would you like to be 10 years from now?
Where I'm going to be 10 years from now, I'm trying to be into, built. Like I want to be in Dillard's.
Got you.
Not only that, the New York Fashion Week. Mm-hmm. Like, I plan on being in that, Nobody else sees it, but I know, like, that's going to happen for me.
Yeah.
For shit show. I'm sorry, but
I like it because you have to feel about it. 100%.
It's going to happen.
100%.
Long as you keep going and you do the things that you need to do.
Right.
That's the thing, and we're not moving backwards and we're moving forward.
Right.
Like if you bump your head, learn from it.
Right. Don't bump your head again. At least not
or
on the same spot. Or if you do it
twice, right.
At least not at the same spot. You know what I mean? You bump your head, but don't bump your head at the same spot.
See, I bumped my head with clothing like 2-3 times. I'm not going to lie.
Sometimes you have to.
But I finally got it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Sometimes you have to bump your head enough to break through. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You did hard enough that last time and it stick to, okay, I have to do something different. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to do
we got to wrap this up because you said breakthrough. And I'm like, you got to go through that breakthrough season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let the people know where they can follow you on social media.
You can follow me at Beautician on Instagram, Beautician _ You're going to have to type it on here.
Yeah.
Because I just made it, so I don't even know how to start it. And then I lost my Rebellious Rose page, so I'm building that back up. Okay. And that was such like a discourage.
Yeah, I already know how.
No, you don't know.
Well, I lost the YouTube channel, so I don't know how it feel to be losing these pages that you build up. And
I was ready to be done, but I said, don't do that. Just keep going.
Yeah, it's just push through. Mm-hmm. So, what was the social medias again?
It is Beautician _ Okay. And then we are doing Rebellious Rose Boutique, but it is BTQ now. Okay. Rebellious Rose _ BTQ. All right. And before we leave, I had to give you your flowers because I told you I was. Like, I was so serious. Because I remember when we started, and I really got to know you for myself. Yeah. And I said, will you do this interview for me for Rebellious Rose? Right. We did it. Right. But we did it in my mama green room. You had this small little round ring light, and I was like, what the hell are we about to do with this?
Hey, listen.
No, that's what I was really thinking. But we made it work.
Most definitely.
But I would always write you little messages, and I'm like, you can do it, or go ahead. Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I would always do that because I seen the potential. For sure. And you was on YouTube. I seen you doing the pranks. Yeah. Yeah. I seen. And after that, it came to a stop. So it's like now to be able to come on here and get interviewed, I think that's so dope how it just came into a full circle. For sure. Because it's way bigger and now you're like way bigger. Like it's dope. And you're interviewing me again, Yeah. But it's actually like a growth. That's big.
It's not where you start. It's just you have to keep going.
Where you going?
Yeah, and starting is the hardest part. So like back then, if we wouldn't did, like you said, the green room with the ring light, we wouldn't got here. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you got to start from somewhere. So, but I appreciate that because, it's been a long journey, but the funny part is it's just getting started for real. You know what I'm saying?
We have to give each other flowers.
All the time. And I hope, and I already know that you're going to achieve everything you plan to achieve. And we're going to watch each other grow as we've been doing all these years now. Because now we coming up on 4 or 5 years. I know I've helped you with different videos,
Yep.
content, stuff like that. So now it's like,
I be like, I need this. Let me just hit being about it.
yeah.
So I always try to support. I'm a supporter of my own.
Most definitely. And I think these type of relationships and connections that we have to, broadcast and show, and that gets more people involved, and then it just gonna build an even bigger network around. Cause we the blueprint, you know what I mean, in a way.
Right.
So it's like, if we want something different in the Mississippi area, especially, you
That's
have
a good
to
name too.
yeah, you have to start it. You have to be a pioneer because of course we're not the only ones creating content or doing boutiques, but it's like trying to do it the right way and presenting it the right way will go along in your way.
Because you cannot worry about competition or be looking at them or looking at them.
Exactly.
So
exactly. But again, I appreciate you for coming through New Management,
No
doing this podcast with us, guys. It's been your boy Benny Gold. We out. Peace.